So we're going to start with a musical number from the students in the music department. But before we do that, I just want to thank a few special people for being here. First of all, Jane Morrison.
She had to travel so far to get here.
I just have to say that when we approached her, asking her to help us put on this fundraiser, she said, yes, but I'm just going to sit on the couch and smile. And you guys have to do everything else. Believe me, that is not how it went. City College trustee Raphael Mandelman for being here. And I want to thank Fiona Ma, who's Speaker of the Legislature Pro Tem, for being here. And I think David Campos is here. Thank you.
Anita Greer is also here.
Oh, and Anita Greer is also here. Thank you so much. Anita, I love you. I've seen you on those videos at the Board of Governors.
Yeah, woo!
And I just love you. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay, so I'm not going to say any more until after we hear from our wonderful music students who are part of the reason that we have to save City College.
Okay. That's right.
Do you hear the people sing the song of angry men? It is the music of the people who will not be slaves again. When the beating of your heart echoes the beating of the drums, here is a life about to start when tomorrow comes. Will you join in us?
These are the students who are fighting to save City College, and their specific fight is about the Performing Arts Education Center. So I encourage you to listen to their beautiful voices, but also listen to their voice. As you know, most of you, the Accrediting Commission for Community and Junior Colleges, which is the accreditor for all of the California community colleges, put City College on sanction in July 2012. So the sanction was called show cause, and this means that the school had to show cause why they should remain open. And this paved the way for, in July 2013, they told the college that they would be revoking the accreditation as of 2014 in July. And this was despite the fact that in our 78-year history, we have never been anything but fully accredited. Furthermore, they never questioned the quality of our academic programs. You know, it was about financial planning and governance. But even the accreditors did not question the quality of the education that was going on at City College. Instead, the ACCJC, working with our state chancellor's office, has used this manufactured accreditation crisis to narrow the mission of the college, to cut classes and student services, and to radically restructure the academic structure of the college, basically usurping democracy at the college. Yeah, it's bad. Another example of usurping democracy at the college is the installation of our special trustee with extraordinary powers, our STWEP. So, the installation of this STWEP was essentially a hostile takeover of our college, and it's usurping democracy not just of the college, but of San Francisco.
That's right.
Yeah.
How could this happen? Well, it turns out that the ACCJC has a political agenda. It's one riddled with conflicts of interests. It's one that violates law. In fact, they've sparked 3 lawsuits against them. Thanks to many of you, the coalition has filed the latest one.
And the union.
And the union and the city attorney. And it's state audit by the state legislature, and even the U.S. Department of Education has put them on show cause. They sent a letter in August saying that, hey, you're out of compliance, basically taking what the union third-party comment complaint had and said, well, you're out of compliance with our regulations and you have a year to come into compliance. So basically, they were also put on show cause. So these sanctions that the Accrediting Commission put on City College are not about a failure to meet accreditation standards. This is not what it's about. This is a political fight. On one side, we have the education reformers who really they just want to serve a narrow band of students. And they want to shut out what Bryce Harris, our state chancellor, calls the periphery. The periphery programs and students. And so he's talking about music, art, ESL. He's talking about programs like Second Chance, like Project Survive, like the Guardian Scholars. I mean, he's talking about the communities that really need City College.
Veterans.
So this is actually not just a fight about keeping City College open. I've actually never really been afraid that they're going to actually shut us down. What I'm fighting for is to keep City College, our City College, keep the community in community college, and keep it open for all students, because all students matter.
That's right.
All students matter, and this is our City College. Okay, so with that, I will introduce the first of our speakers, who is Chanel Williams. Our student trustee, along with the rest of the disempowered trustees.
So I'll make it really brief. First and foremost, thank you so much to Wendy, to Jane Morrison, to Madeline Mueller, to Thomasita, to all the folks who really made this day happen. We are a long way from where we were a year and a half ago. When in July 2012, people thought we were crazy. They were like, you know, City College, it must be broken. There must be issues that the college is having. But now we have all this amazing support. We have people behind us, and we're gonna move forward, and we're gonna be open. We're gonna survive this. And this has been a hard fight, but we have to keep our mission of our college. We have to. We have to keep our cultural diversity. Right now, diversity studies is under attack. Like Wendy talked about the periphery and these education reformers and their philosophy. We are in a huge battle. And this is an amazing, amazing opportunity for us to really preserve the working class community, not only in San Francisco, but across the state of California. So thank you so much, everyone, for being here. This is really about the 85,000 students that need this school. I need this school just as much as any other student. And thank you guys for this amazing event and for supporting us. So thank you.
Okay, well, our next speaker is Gordon Marr, who actually couldn't make it, but he is the executive director of Jobs with Justice. But actually, I'm keeping Chanel up here because she is working in a program of Jobs with Justice called
Student Labor Action Project. The Student Labor Action Project is part of a national organization, which is a partnership between the United States Student Association and Jobs with Justice, and we're focused on student debt. As you guys know, the student debt crisis is out of control. We're in the trillions. And this is part of that. This new payment plan that's being instituted at City College, this pay-to-play model that they're trying to push on us, really is about pushing more students into debt. And so we started the second chapter in California at City College. The first chapter was in Santa Cruz, and we are the second chapter in California. And we want to build a student worker alliance. We want to bring students and workers together because our struggle is the workers' struggle. Students and workers should be united to make sure that accessibility and affordability remain at our college. So that's what we're about.
Yeah, I mean, we need students and workers and community together. I mean, we need everybody in this fight. Okay, so the next speaker is Elisa Messer, who is the president of
This is amazing to see this many people spilling out onto the street. So it's right, but it's a testament to our love for City College and for the City College that Chanel and Wendy and everyone talk about. It's our City College. It's a much broader City College than what the State Chancellor's Office or Barbara Bino or others might be talking about in terms of what they think San Francisco needs or deserves. We know that San Francisco deserves and needs, and we need to make sure stays what we keep open is a city college that is accessible to students like Chanel, to veterans, to LGBT students, to second chance students, to that broad picture of what City College does for San Francisco. That's a community college, not a junior college. We want to transfer students. We want to do a great job of transferring students to four-year institutions. We want to keep up the amazing workforce training that we've done and will continue to do. But there's a broad picture of the students who deserve to have City College of San Francisco and who rely on it to keep our city whole. So San Francisco and the Bay Area deserve to have that community college, and that's only going to happen because of events like this and all of you and the very broad spectrum of community, labor, students, electeds who are coming together to ensure that we have our city college. We need to make sure that we take down, reform, make huge changes to the way that the accreditation process happens in the California Community College. There's no question. And we've got 3 lawsuits working together now, and that we're going to help make sure that that happens. But even if we do that, we also have to make sure that San Francisco, and this is really on all of us and on everybody that we work with and all of the students and all of San Francisco, we have to make sure that San Francisco retains the California Community College, the San Francisco Community College that San Francisco deserves and needs. And if we do that, we can make sure that we continue to show people that that model is something that works, that is specific to different communities, and that's what Californians all over the state, and in fact all over the country, deserve in their community colleges. They deserve broad, all-encompassing, student-friendly, community-friendly colleges that are affordable and accessible to all.
It's always very exciting to be here for anything that Jane Morrison is supporting, but particularly when she's fighting for City College with all of you. It's great. What was not so great was getting elected back in November. I mean, that was great, and thank you, because many of you supported me. But you know, only 6 months after starting to serve with Anita, you don't think coups happen in the United States, but they actually do. And so the results of democratic elections of 7 people on that board were undone by a probably illegal act of the State Board of Governors. Definitely illegal, says Henny Kelly. Thank you, Henny Kelly. And so, you know, we had the dilemma of what do you do when you've been stripped of the authority that the voters have given you? And I think both Anita and I have decided that although we may not have formal legal authority, we have some moral authority. And we were still elected by the voters of San Francisco to fight for City College, and so we're going to keep doing that.
Yes.
And so I'm really excited to be doing that with you, Anita.
Well, I appreciate that, and we're going to continue to fight at the state level. That was the last place I was, and you just can't believe the way we're being treated and how we're being talked about. It's unfair, it's undemocratic, and it has to stop. So we will continue to fight, and we're going to do it legally. That's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to fight them back, and we want to come back and be on the board and run the college.
A couple of quick updates. One of the things that we've been doing is trying to build support in the San Francisco political community for City College and oppose the ACCJC and what it's done. And so one of the things that we've been able to do is get resolutions passed by Democratic clubs and labor organizations around the city, basically expressing the community's support for City College, opposition to what the ACCJC has done, and calling on all elected officials to do what our friends David Campos and Norman Yee and others have done to stand up for City College. And so that's been passed by the Noe Valley Democratic Club, FDR Democratic Club, Potrero Hill Democratic Club, and District 1 Democratic Club, Richmond District Democratic Club. What's going on, Henny? The FDR Democratic Club. Henny wants us to know about all the
California Young Dems.
The
California Young
Democratic
Dems.
Club. Thank you, Sue Englander.
California Young Democrats.
California Young Democrats. And this weekend, Henny Kelly has just gotten back from the E-Board meeting for the State Democratic Party, and they're now on board. So
Don't forget the San Francisco Labor Council.
Jackie Spear is standing up for City College strongly, and we have good news, in part because I think of Jackie Spear and Anna Eshu being so strong on this. We had a very good Elisa Messer and Jenny Lam from Chinese for Affirmative Action, and I had a very good meeting with Nancy Pelosi on Friday, and we are looking forward to seeing a little bit more coming out from her office as well.
Wake her up.
Support is building. What you are doing is making a difference. And for the Save CCSF Coalition that was in the wilderness saying what is going on is wrong,
and was saying that from the beginning, and you were right, and people like me have learned, and other people are learning as well. And Roger Scott wants us to talk about the California Master Plan, which says that community colleges should be open and available to everyone in California who can benefit from it. And that's the vision that San Francisco believes in, and that's what we're going to continue fighting for. Thank you, Roger. All right.
Chinese for Affirmative Action and talk a little bit about the campaign that they've launched.
Good.
Thank you, Wendy. Chinese for Affirmative Action is a community-based civil rights organization, and our headquarters is in Chinatown. And several years ago, we got very involved with City College to make sure that we could have a permanent campus in Chinatown, North Beach. And in that effort, we came to know and befriend and work with so many allies in the faculty, in the community, with many different partners. And we succeeded in getting that campus built. And it's only about maybe 100 yards from our office. And many of the students at that campus are also clients of our organization. And for them, they are interested in saving City College because City College saves them. There are so many members of San Francisco's family who are just struggling to get by. And they depend on City College programs to learn English, to get job skills, to have support to become citizens. They are the lifeblood of not just City College, but they're the lifeblood of San Francisco. And so when we learned about this accreditation situation, we couldn't stay on the sidelines. And we knew that it was politically confusing, we knew that it was technically complicated, but it was important from a civil rights perspective to get involved. Because if you look at who are the students at City College, if you look at who are the students in community colleges across the state, we're finding that public funding is pulling back just as the population is becoming more and more students of color, more working class students, more and more women. So we launched a campaign called Move City College Forward. We currently have over 8,000 people signed on. We think that there needs to be multiple strategies to keep City College open. I have a friend who does some engineering work for airplanes, and when you get on an airplane, there's not one electrical system, right? There are multiple electrical systems, so if the first one doesn't work, then there's a backup. And if that one doesn't work, there's a backup behind that. And if that one doesn't work, there's a backup behind that. And that's what we need in San Francisco. We need litigation. We need policy advocacy. We need organizing. We need media. We need to do all of these things to keep City College. And I can't say how happy we are to be able to support this coalition in any way we can, for you to know that there's a broad, broad spectrum of San Francisco that stands with you. Thank you very much.
I'm glad to be here to be supportive of you. It goes beyond the fact that I was a student at City College, that I was an instructor at City College, that my wife is still an instructor at City College. This is big for San Francisco, and the economic impact is humongous. It's just not about economic impact, what it does for our students. When I was teaching ESL, citizenship. That's one aspect of City College that people don't even get outside of San Francisco. All I have to say is that I don't know what these accreditation people, I don't know what the hell they were smoking when they thought they could take on San Francisco.
Don't blame it on them.
But we're gonna kick their butts.
Well, I certainly echo that. My name is David Campos. I represent District 9 on the Board of Supervisors, Mission Bernal Heights. We're the home of the Mission campus that has about 10,000 students. 75% of them are immigrants. And I was hearing about the importance of this institution to the Chinese community, to the Latino community, to so many immigrant communities. As an immigrant, I can tell you that I don't think that you can have the American dream alive in San Francisco if City College goes away. But I want to be very careful about how we talk about City College, because I do think language matters. This idea of the periphery, the way that the basic services that are so critical to these institutions, to these communities, are being described as peripheral, I think we have to counter that, because the very periphery that they're talking about is actually the very heart of this institution. The periphery is what actually makes City College relevant to so many communities.
That's right.
You know, in the last few weeks, I've been talking about a tale of two cities in San Francisco. There is so much wealth, and at the same time that Twitter is being valued at $14 billion, you have Ellis Act evictions going up by 170%, and the character of this community really changing neighborhood by neighborhood. I think that the fight about City College in many respects is the symbol of what we're fighting for. We really are fighting for the soul of San Francisco. Are we the kind of city that is so driven by, you know, profit, by privatization, by money, that at the same time that we're trying to attract these companies, that we're actually closing the door of opportunity to an entire generation of people? Is that the San Francisco we are?
No!
So I said this, you know, at the last time that I spoke about City College, I said, you know, the ACCJC chose the wrong city to mess with. They did not understand that when you take on San Francisco, you take on an entire city of people who understand the importance of being connected, who understand the importance of equal opportunity, who understand the importance of community actually have a say over how they're educated. So this fight, I think, is gonna be a fight that we're not just gonna win. We're gonna win this fight, and in the process, we're gonna change the course of what's happening in San Francisco. This city belongs to us. This city belongs to that young kid that is trying to get an education at City College, to that senior that is trying to learn the language, to that veteran that is trying to find a job because of City College. This is our city. We're taking it back.
Yeah! You got it!
But before we have Dan, we've got Henry Wang on the program, who is a City College music student. But as a special surprise, we've actually got 3 City College music students, and so Henry's talk about the PAKE will be sandwiched with cultural enrichment.
Yeah, honestly, because this means so much to us students for having members of the community here supporting us, because as students here, you know, this means so much. And so I want to first thank people that gave me this opportunity to speak here, Professor Hubble, also Madeline Mueller, and a few other people. Let's give it up for people that actually started this whole entire thing. So these packets have all the information about what's going on with the Performing Arts Education Center. And so we're going to take a look at this together as a family.
Okay, so this is Nicole James. She and Yamura Kai, who end Henry's speech, ended up in my voice class. And we have people that end up in our classes all the time, and you go, oh my gosh, they're in my class, 30 or 40, and what do I do? Well, you let them sing, okay? Go.
How many people here like music or are a musician yourself or know somebody who plays an instrument? So we're all part of this as a family together. And so what's happened is this, is us SF citizens, us SF people, we have voted for Prop A bond money back in 2001 and 2005, where we had $50 million allocated for this project. And they basically said, all right, we're not gonna use this money for the project anymore, even though we broke ground for this Performing Arts Center. So it's money that we all voted for, us SF citizens, us SF community members, and the accreditation, the people in administration decided, you know what, we're gonna just use this money for something else. So this is one of the arms that we have, and the reason why this is so important, ladies and gentlemen, is because the Performing Arts Center, it's a major part of the San Francisco City College, because San Francisco, a lot of people come here to the city from different parts of the country to study arts. You guys probably know, right? And there's a lot of these other for-profit colleges. I'm not going to name them, but they're, we know that their interest is not purely for the students, and they price gouge students, and not only that, they want the students to be in debt. I'm not going to take up any more time. This next young lady that's going to come up and speak, she's actually an amazing speaker in Judy Hubble's class, and she was mentored by my professor, Judy Hubble, which is amazing. So let's give it up for Ms. Yagmora.
Hello everyone, I'm just going to sing a Turkey song called FM.
I'm sure the translation of that is save our college.
And have turkey. And have turkey.
Okay, so finally our last speaker will be our special guest, Dan Siegel, who, if some of you were at our press conference a couple weeks ago, know that Dan and Neil Satterlund filed a lawsuit on behalf of the coalition against the ACCJC, and it's the third lawsuit against them. So hopefully we have them on the run.
Thank you all for being here. Thank you especially, Jane, for hosting us today. Supervisors, members of the coalition. It's a pleasure to be here. Before coming over here this morning, I got a call. And who was on the line but Barbara Bino? Didn't you invite her? I thought her husband was also listening in, and she wanted me to pass along a message to all of you. The first thing is this. They are facing lawsuits, 3 lawsuits.
Oh, poor
one
babies.
from the city attorney, one from the union, and one from us. And they don't have the money for them. So if everybody would just take out a check, write it to ACCJC, or to Barbara, or to Mr. Benno, and I'll collect the checks and take them back. The other thing she said, you know, people in San Francisco are not being open-minded about this city college thing. You know, there's only 80,000 students there. That's only 10% of the population of San Francisco who are taking classes. And think of the alternatives. English is a second language. You know, Barbara said, I only speak one language. Why does anyone else have to learn two languages? And, you know, and then as far as all the job training programs, she said, look, you don't need to have them for free or at city college prices. There's lots of for-profit companies out there who are trying to make a buck training people in medicine, law, and everything else. You've got to give them a chance. I mean, after all, the business of America is business, right? And then finally, for those of you who are attached to the academic courses and teaching at City College, give the MOOCs a chance. You know, you can get on your computer, dial up a mass open online course, and you get some professor from Harvard or Stanford, and you can enjoy that in the comfort of your home. And then for a few dollars at the end of it, you can take a test and get credit. So for those of you, she said, who are attached to City College, stop whining.
Wonderful conversation.
And I have to say to Barbara, you know, Barbara, you've got your head you know where, because we are going to kick that butt. We have 3 lawsuits. We have lawsuits filed by Dennis Herrera, the city attorney. We have a lawsuit filed by the AFT. And then
Yes.
we have our coalition lawsuit.
Woo,
And
yes.
3 is better than 1. The lawyers are all working together. We're on the same page. No one has to worry about the fact that we're at cross purposes. There was an appearance last week in front of Judge Carno, who is a complex litigation judge in San Francisco. We weren't there officially because the commission has not yet responded to our lawsuit, but he's going to take this in hand and work it so that we can have a hearing on the merits of the claims early next year, so that we can have a decision throwing out the decisions of the ACC, JC, and plenty of time for the community college system to get its act together and reaffirm the rights of people in San Francisco to have City College. Just a word, ours is classified as a petition for writ of mandate, and that's a legal term, obviously, which is a type of lawsuit which challenges the failure of an administrative body, such as the commission, to follow the law and to follow the regulations that govern it. So that's really, it's very simple when you think about it. Their decision should be thrown out because it was made in violation of the Higher Education Act and the regulations that have been published by the U.S. Department of Education to govern the actions of accrediting commissions. And you know, there's a whole lot of them, from the fact that the visiting teams at San Francisco barely included any faculty members, and faculty member participation is critical, from the fact that Bino's husband is on the visiting team, and you could hardly expect him to be independent. I mean, we know who wears the pants in that family. And the fact that they are pushing this college and other community colleges to put their money into a pension program which is run by members of the commission and is beholden to them. So there are so many violations that I'm sure that when Judge Carno looks at it all on paper, he'll have no choice but to rule in our favor. But you know, there's something else I just wanted to mention about that. Someone said something like, the law is politics by other means, right? And that is the truth. I mean, I've been doing this for a long time, and if you go back to the beginning of the civil rights movement in the 60s, and the way in which Congress changed the laws and the way in which judges interpreted those laws, it wasn't simply because of the skill of the lawyers. It was because millions of people were in the streets and they were making their voices very loud, very clear, very focused. So I'm very humbled, really, to be one of your attorneys in this case, but I think you and people like you will make all the difference. We need to rally people in San Francisco. We need big crowds wherever we're in the courthouse. We need public opinion reflected in the newspapers and television. Maybe even the mayor will say something about it. But we're going to win this fight. We're going to win the fight against privatization of public education in the United States, and City College will survive.
Woo! Yeah! Everywhere I go, everywhere I go, people want to know, who I am, so I tell them, I'm a San Franciscan, and I believe, community college, city college, is my aim, everywhere I go, when people want to know, I will tell them, who I am, I am the people, mighty, mighty people, I want education, for my city, for the poor people, as well as the rich people, for the old people, as well as the young people. people.
as well as the young people.
Education
Education
is for everyone.
is for everyone.
So everywhere you go,
So everywhere you go,
when people want to know
when people want to know
who you are,
who you are,
you better tell them.
you better tell them.
We are the people
We are the people
from San Francisco.
from San Francisco.
Don't mess with
Don't mess with
City College.
City College,
We're gonna win.
'cause we're gonna win.
Bino's gonna lose.
Bino's gonna lose.
We're gonna win.
We're gonna win.
Bino's gonna lose.
Bino's gonna lose.